much for joining us, Vivek, and telling us all about the stocks which are in focus. IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw is interacting with Google CEO Sundar Pichai. So let's do one thing. Let's just cut into that conversation as well.
Absolutely scalable India stack, and that India stack helped us manage something as big as the pandemic using the CoWIN platform, which used all the horizontal constructs of the India stack. We were able to deliver vaccines to 1 billion plus people, actually 2.2 billion vaccine doses. Scheduling for that scale with all the logistics challenges that we had, right? And giving the certificate instantaneously. It was a massive work, and that was only possible because of the technology stack. Having the payment system that we have today, the UPI payment system, phenomenally successful. As we speak, it is almost like India's 55% of India's GDP transactions are today happening on the UPI, the payment platform that we have, right? So similar digital platforms we will keep on building for health system, for logistics, for many other sectors. That's one part. Second part, we'll be taking the startup ecosystem to tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. We see so much talent coming out of smaller cities and towns, so we would try to channelize that. Third, we will be focusing on India has been ranked as #1 talent concentration geography for AI, right? So very recently in the Network Readiness Index, India was ranked as #1 on the talent concentration for AI. So we would like to channelize that through very stable, a very good, very comprehensive legal and regulatory ecosystem.
Thank you, sir. Sundar, today all of us and then everyone here in some way is a participant to this. Also, India has a very fast-growing startup economy, startup ecosystem. We have some phenomenal entrepreneurs, and Google has played an active role in nurturing this ecosystem. Going forward, I would like to ask you, how do you see the digital India playing a role in the growth of the startup economy here in our country?
First of all, thanks for having us. It's an honor to have Minister Vaishnaw here as well. Real pleasure to be here. Every time I come, the sophistication of the India startup ecosystem, it's measurably improving. Part of what we have done with the India Digitization Fund is increasingly focusing on our investments towards startups from India, like Glance. And these companies are getting noticeable scale. And increasingly, as you heard earlier, we have announced a $300 million fund with a focus. 1/4 of the fund will go towards startups led by women or startups which are focused on bridging the gender divide. I think, to me, the opportunity India has, if you look at the US as a market, the reason startups are successful is when they build something, they have an access to a 300 million plus market. And it's easy to build something which scales across the entire country. This hasn't always been true in places like Europe, because you have to scale across 26 markets, and it's tough for a startup to get that scale. I think that's the opportunity India has. How do you make sure a startup can easily scale across the entirety of an Indian market? So I think those are all ways by which policies can help, and we can play a role as well. But there is no better time to do a startup than the current moment, even though we are working through a macroeconomic moment like this. Companies like Google were created in moments of a downturn. So I think, I'm very bullish about it over time.
Sundar, I have to say this as a woman entrepreneur, that it's very, very encouraging that you're saying that, the fund will also focus on women-led businesses. And I just saw some of you clapping, but zordar dil se tali ho sakti hai, because it is a very, very significant moment for our country, for women. And we need more women entrepreneurs. Honorable Minister, as we look forward, we are seeing AI emerge as one of the, an important emphasis for the government and area and priority. Honorable Prime Minister talked about it, and we've seen a lot of focus there. What are some of the areas in AI that you're keen to nurture through the government?
So AI is going to play a very big role in India's tech story going forward. There are multiple number of fields, multiple number of areas in which AI is going to make a significant difference. Agriculture is one such field. The diversity of languages that we have, how do we bridge the gap between people who speak one language and the other? That's going to be second. Then making credit accessible to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. That's going to be a major, major task ahead in which we will be using AI. And that's going to ride on the success that we have already had in terms of the payment system, the identity system, and a very rapid adoption of technology across different sections of the society and across all geographies. So we are going to use all these things, and once we have our data protection bill and the telecom bill and the Digital India bill in place, then it creates a robust framework in which we can use some of the data sets which are available, public data sets, and then use them and harness the power of technology to provide better solutions, better services. And our focus is always, see, the rich people can always take care of themselves, right? Our focus is always on the middle class and the poorer sections of the society. As government, we are very keen to make sure that every section of the society, marginalized sections of the society, they are able to get the benefits of technology the way some of us who are better endowed, similar level of technology benefits, they should also be able to get. So,
all right, that's the word coming in from the